Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Zenith. We are a Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition actual play live stream, and we are all excited to share this fine Thursday night with y'all and play some Dungeons and Dragons and tell some stories. We're going to quickly go around and introduce ourselves, and then we can hop right into the game. Before we do that, though, I want to talk quickly about our incentives for this game. So, in lieu of any kind of financial remuneration for our incentives, we are donating all of the proceeds towards the PCRF, the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. This link can be found under the ! donate command in chat. PCRF has been providing medical care for children in Palestine and the Levant area for decades, and uh, their work is needed now more than ever. Since 1991, they've been envisioning a world where children in the Middle East have access to quality medical care and humanitarian aid. By donating, you not only get to see some cool shit happen in the game, you also get to contribute to an important and relevant cause at this point in time. Again, you can see all of the incentives in the chat. And with that, I think we can get to introductions. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I will be your GM for this evening, and I'm happy to tell some stories.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek. I will be playing Eris, one of our lovely assassin rogues who just happens to be able to shapeshift and do some other cool stuff.
Hi, I'm Mozz or Mozzarella, and I'll be playing Zahir and Kamar, a warlock fighter who will be hopefully safe today, depending on what the GM's been asking us a lot of questions. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Seth, and this is Finn. I will be playing Vesper, one of the other assassins. We did indeed have to roll a die before we ever went live, so I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen today.
I'm sure it'll all be fine. In the meantime, until we get there, though, allow me to share with you a perspective. In the 2 weeks since the magisterial raids that destroyed the Spider House ballroom, a new kind of silence has fallen over the city of Zenith. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of a held breath, of a blade half drawn. The streets empty earlier each night as devils walk more boldly through the shadows. They whisper of deals, of power, of transcendence. Out in the city, you can smell something burning in the air. Not wood or coal, but something older, more fundamental. The red presence grows stronger in these quiet hours. Crude red paint drips like blood down more doors each morning. The prophecies of this cult spread through markets and cloud dens. They speak of the beloved, how he appeared wreathed in crimson mist, how the magisterial guard falls before him. Each telling grows grander, each miracle more profound. He comes to free us from our limitations, they whisper. And in these desperate times, more and more are willing to listen. But there is another whisper spreading like smoke through the city's darkest corners. Something shifts in the infernal hierarchies. Devils prowl the streets with a renewed urgency, their deals more desperate, their promises grander. Those who deal in secrets speak of upheaval in hell's order, of ancient powers moving in new patterns. The old certainties crumble, and in their ruins, something new takes root. Something born not of divine decree, but of mortal ambition. This is how the day of wrath begins, not with trumpets and fire, but with whispered deals in darkness, with symbols painted on doors, and with the slow dissolution of what was into what might be. Eris, you find your coin purse to be particularly heavy today, as you just accepted what seems to be a pretty easy job. Find Zahir. Someone's got to talk to him. What's it like when you move through the city trying to find somebody?
As Eris is going through the city, especially in a case where she's been hired to find someone, she'll definitely do so with a bit of almost like a quiet sort of grace, almost almost seamlessly moving from shadow to shadow, tavern to bars to all sorts of hangouts where information might be traded to see if they can find someone. And all in a manner of different forms as well, because one can never be too careful if they're being tailed, obviously.
Absolutely. As you move through the city, it is a dark, cloudy day. The rain threatens to begin falling at any moment. There's a chill in the air. As you walk past various notice boards and just other places where news is shared, you see your face, the faces of your friends and comrades, displayed boldly. You're wanted again. For you, that's not much of a problem yet. They seem to have caught on to the identity of Jess, and they're searching for that individual. What's one cover burnt?
A shame. I rather happen to like that face too. Oh well.
And Zahir, where do we find you today?
Possibly hiding from whatever. They probably shaved a little bit closer. They're trying to just keep a low profile, which isn't hard for them. They are kind of like a urchin. They're kind of like always been. They've never really been noticed, but I feel like they're not in their usual spot right now. They're probably playing games or some kind of like place in the city where they can bet some money or something, just in case they have to get, quickly out of town.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. There are dozens of miscellaneous little gambling houses, each with a variety of specialties and reasons to go to this one over that. Let's say today you find yourself in a cozy little card den. Not particularly high stakes, but it's anonymous and rough enough that most people don't really want to cause trouble here. Down by the docks. Eris, your leads, your investigations are... Actually, go ahead and roll an investigation check. Let's see what you get.
With pleasure.
You can do this with advantage, I would say. You have plenty of skills in this area.
Lovely. That's 12.
12. All right, that'll certainly do it. So you don't have anything too solid yet, but you know that Zahir was last seen by the docks. You don't necessarily hear that name parroted back to you, but based on your investigation, talking to random people, keeping your eyes and ears open, that's more or less what you get.
Okay. She'll kind of keep a little bit of interesting to see him there of all places, but good places I need to be. Mm-hmm. She would probably start making her way over to the docks to find him, considering the job she's on.
Absolutely. As you do this, you progress through the city. It's changed in recent weeks. It's dark, paranoid. Everyone's looking over their shoulders. If not for pursuers personal to them, then for the raids, the violence, the unpredictable nature of these times. As you take the long, winding slope down from the central city into the docks, you pass by a small, basically the corner of a little switchback, essentially. And you see a masked figure in red robes standing proudly on top of a random crate. Babbling some religious sentiment about an individual that he keeps referring to as the Beloved, and how this figure is going to free people from their limitations. There's a small crowd gathered. Some seem skeptical, others seem interested, at least.
Out of curiosity, I think Eris might stop and listen in for a bit. Just to... She's heard that name, the Beloved, pop up most likely throughout her time the couple weeks since. She's interested.
Sure,
to
absolutely.
say the least.
Are you just doing this anonymously, just kind of post it up and listening?
Just anonymously. She's not trying to get too close or anything, so.
Alright, sure. So I'll say, broadly, the summary of what you get from this message is that there's this figure in town, the Beloved. He is associated with the Red Presence, broadly speaking. He seems to lead them in a way. Not necessarily as an active person who plans things, but symbolically, almost. He's referred to as the living scripture. Someone tell me even or odd.
Odds.
Odds? That's a 3. That's an odd number. So, as you continue listening, one phrase does stick out to you. The fact that this is not only the Beloved, this is Caroline's Beloved.
Oh, that... She does let a chuckle at that. Oh, wow. It is in high places now. She'll probably make her way, she'll take her leave at that point, not really wanting to hear anything else, especially after the, just kind of getting like that juicy little bit of info.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now back to the task at hand. Where are you, Z?
As you continue to head down into the docks, Zahir, go ahead and roll a d20 for me real quick. Let's see how well you're doing at the cards.
Luck roll, let's go.
It's not going to have to be a great one.
Oh no.
Your opponent, this big, burly half-orc in something akin to sailor's clothes, not doing well.
If it's
you're
bad, is this gonna?
Yeah.
If it's bad, could Zahir roll a sleight of hand to kind of pull out a card to help? Because I rolled a 7.
To help the other person?
To help himself, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, okay.
Game the system.
You don't even need to. You're playing some kind of bluffing game. Let's call it something akin to poker. One-on-one with this enterprising individual, and he seems to be solid enough with the rules on the table, so to speak. He plays his cards well, but this is not a very well controlled man. You can spot his tells from a mile away, and so your victory is at some point almost a foregone conclusion. You're able to come up with 5 silver on top.
He just does the... I've been watching way too much Red Dead. And does that smile, and he starts clicking all the things together and pulls it to his corner and just like laughs at everyone like... It's a little bit... it's good to win.
Yeah, It's quiet in here. Not many people around. But those who are, broadly, are keeping something of an eye on all the games, just seeing how things play out. And your opponent seems to be fairly good-natured, even though he's now 5 silver lighter in his coin purse. He kind of nods as you wrap up and slaps the coins on the table. I'll get you next time. It's a foul grimace that he gives you, but it's good-natured in its way.
He'll keep playing just because he's gotten a little taste of it.
Absolutely.
Here it goes. Here we go.
But they're not expecting people trying to find them or anything, right? They're not supposed to be somewhere. They're just
not particular.
Okay, cool. But yeah, if that's not there, they're just gonna keep playing.
What's your emotional state like? What's the vibe?
After the last one, Amar is frustrated, so he's been trying to like temper the beast inside, kind of thing, like quiet down, like because they're trying to deal with the feeling of betrayal. Because Zahir's familiar with it. They've tasted, they've understood it. They can't understand it, but they know that feeling, so they are better accepting of this. So their emotional state is like, fuck it, this happens every day. Like, we were bound to either lose some money or something. Like it seemed suspicious. Kamar isn't. So Kamar is just like, I'm gonna find her. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. And he's just like, okay, calm down. So that's why he's like hiding out. He's more scared of being caught because of his wanted level than anything else.
Absolutely. As you continue to play your game of cards and distract and dissociate from the chaos of the world you find yourself in, there's a sort of dense weight on the back of your mind that at this point I would say you to some extent understand. This is the observation of the angel of the presence. The divine nature never quite leaves you. It pushes in and retreats as it feels it needs to, or as it does. But at the moment, it just settles in your mind like a beer that's too thick. At this point, Eris, you pop into a small little card bar that's maybe a hop, skip, and a jump away from the docks and the water that lead out from Zenith into the bay. Couple random people in here. Older woman behind the bar, keeping a sharp eye on things, clocks you immediately as you come in. A few random patrons, they seem to be drinking, a few are playing cards. And then off in the corner, you see Zahir and this large half-orc individual in the middle of the game.
She'll make her way over. Normally she would love to get a drink at the moment, but time is a bit of the essence right now, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
She won't interrupt the game though. She will kind of wait until they're on break a little bit.
All right, if we're waiting for another round, then Zahir, why don't we roll again? This time the half-orc insists that you go double or nothing, 10 pieces of silver. Are you in?
Boy.
I rolled a 4. I'm gonna roll again because I don't know what to. I already rolled and I hate it.
You got this.
You gonna re-roll? You gonna use an advantage?
Yeah, let me use my advantage. Thank God. Yeah, he's in. He's doing that thing where he's like already stacking up the 10. He's like, yes. Oh, that is completely the opposite. Okay. I went from a 3 to a 20. Okay.
That'll do it.
That's how it works.
Your nameless opponent, people don't really trade names in places like this, plays well. He seems to get a grip, so to speak, and is less of an open book than he was before. You, however, both the cards and the well-earned experience of using your charisma to affect the world. That pushes things in your favor, and you come up 10 silver. God damn it!
Give me 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 for me. 5 for me. Oh, 10 for me.
Quit your fucking counting, buddy.
Okay. I'll get you a drink just for your trouble. And then they'll kind of pass enough for 1 or 2 drinks, like definitely more than 1 for their opponent.
As you get up, he sort of like swings a hand in your direction and gives you a very unexpected, but like firm and vigorous handshake. Good game.
Good game.
The beer sucks.
The beer sucks. Wow,
You know,
you're certainly
they're
on
just
quite
paying
the
for
run.
it.
Sure.
Oh, Eris. I mean, well, they wouldn't say it out loud. They'll if you're next to him, they'll say it like in a whisper. Didn't expect you here.
I can say the same about you. Not quite the same joint I'd expect to find you here. Of all places.
Well, and we are a bit wanted, aren't we? So, trying to change it up.
She'll kind of run her finger along like the parts where Zahir like did shave. Like, you shaved. Rather fetching.
I fear they know me or my friend's face, so I'm trying something new. I should have known you would have found me. You're probably the only few who could.
Well, nice to know that you don't appreciate my skills, but unfortunately I wish this were the time to chat and be pleasant. I'm on a bit of a job right now, and that job is requiring you.
You're taking jobs while we are being... And they kind of look to like... I feel like this bar is so tiny, they don't have like a wanted board, but like they're looking at the area of like the docks where they would have that like...
She'll pull out her coin purse and just kind of like... Girls gotta get paid.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm in.
I mean, girls gotta get paid somehow. I have rather expensive tastes, as you well know. But enough of that.
The one that you're working with, they don't care?
Oh, I believe they do care, but I'm that good that they make it... that they turn a bit of a blind eye. Besides, they can afford it.
Good. If they do not care, or if they can look away for 2 of them, 2 wanted, you know, I can help with that. Is this going to be a team thing?
I don't quite know yet. All they told me was they need to see you. Something about you being personally involved. They wouldn't really quite give me the details.
Zahir is like putting stuff into his... I don't know why I have a little purse, like a little thing right in my desk. I don't know, but it fits so perfectly right now. They're just like putting everything in. They kind of look up at you, Iris, just personally involved. And they didn't come to me first.
Probably because they couldn't find you. You know, with the whole hiding thing.
Well, that is different then. He kind of does this gesture of like he's done playing or messing around, and he like finishes his drink. And he said, like, looks at you, Eris, and well then, I'm curious, so we should be off.
We shall. She'll sort of loop her arm around Zahir just to sort of give off the impression that she's following him, in case, again, incognito and such, in case any prying eyes are looking.
Absolutely. So in order to conclude your job, then, you and Zahir make your way towards a location known only to you as the Shelf. This is an upper layer of the Undercity, and it is used by the divers and other dissidents who are trying to centralize something of a resistance to the Magisterium. On your way to the Shelf, the docks sit quite a ways below the sort of central city. There's a steep cliff to get down here. Fortunately for you, you don't actually have to climb all the way back up. This is the Undercity. You're able to come out of this little card den and walk up to the big, steep rock wall that leads back up to the center of the city. And you sort of walk along the surface. If you were less experienced or less familiar with this location, you might have to run your hand along the rock wall until you feel something just kind of pass through. It's at that point when you know you've hit the illusion, you can just head on in. As you do, you and Zahir find yourself in essentially a very dark underground hallway. As you do, you bump into a couple of familiar faces. Grace and Crag, armed to the teeth, heading out into the city. Oh.
Heading out
How are
again.
you two? Yes, I have to find my brother.
Do give him a piece of my mind when you do. It's been going for quite a while. I miss having our little banter sessions.
As I understand it, that makes one of you, but at least I can give him your regards.
I'd appreciate it.
She kind of like darts her eyes back and forth real quick. I have a feeling you'll be seeing each other soon enough.
Oh. Interesting.
You can give him that piece of your mind in person.
I would love to. Now then, she'll turn to Zahir. Shall we?
Yeah, Zaire gives just like a polite nod and thank you, like or like just like walking past as if he doesn't really know them because it was Kamar that met them.
Mm-hmm.
So internally, Kamar is like, "Oh yeah, that's my best friend," and looking at Crag.
Crag, for his part, does make direct eye contact with you as they head out through the illusion. He looks at you, Zahir, nods in your direction, making very pointed eye contact. Good hunting. Heads out.
Yes, and they're just like coughing into their chest, like, like they have heartburn or something.
Vesper, where did we find you today?
Hold on, sorry, I gotta post this meme.
All
Alright, we're good.
right, we're good.
Vesper, I think, is probably at the ballroom, aiding in whatever kind of cleanup or manual labor for rebuilding is currently underway, whether it's super menial or just like organizing something, but just spending most of his days there since the raid.
Reaching the Spider House ballroom has been difficult lately. On one hand, the Magisterium keeps watch of the place. A lot of people were in here, and a lot of people disappeared before, during, at some point soon, close to the attack. Where'd they go? They're not really sure, so they keep watch. Those efforts have been complicated significantly by an increased number of members of the Cult of the Red Presence who, as far as you can tell, view this site as holy? They come here and observe. Sometimes they walk up to the burned out husk of the building that still stands and drop a sheathed dagger among the ash and then walk away. They spread their philosophy, they teach their religion here occasionally. It seems to be nonsensical in some ways, but broadly tending towards violence, chaos, resistance, somewhere. For today, at least, though, you and the other drow have made your way through and are beginning to not quite pick up the pieces. Rebuilding the space is something that'll have to take place on a different time scale when things are more calm. But for now, there are at least enough of you to mount an effort to go through and retrieve some cultural artifacts, essentially. Various kind of totems and idols of Lolth, and the other Underdark deities that have been brought to the surface by the urban drow community here. As you do this, your sister approaches, armed to the teeth, with her friend Crag in tow. Hey.
Hey,
Uh,
what are you doing out?
looking for you.
Oh, well. This is where I tend to be most times these days.
At the edge of your audible range, you hear the shouting screed of some Red Presence fanatic. Grace kind of nods in that direction. I don't want them to be here.
Yeah, me either. But for now, they kind of seem to be acting as a deterrent. At least, so as annoying as they are, we don't have a lot of options, I guess. What do you need?
You want more options?
What do you have in mind?
You could join up. Work together with me and the others.
With the divers?
Yeah. And their allies. It's not just them, but I guess it's mostly them.
That sounds extremely tempting, to tell you the truth.
Crag shrugs and be tempted.
I gotta think about it, but honestly, to tell you the truth, barring any particular unseen obstacle, which unfortunately is kind of the name of everything that seems to be happening, I think you could probably expect a yes. be nice to help. And to help keep you out of trouble.
Well, I don't know how much I'm gonna let you do that, but why don't you come along then? I caught Eris and Zahir on their way underground to meet with everybody. You come too? Yeah, there's your job that needs doing.
Oh, God, but it's been such a quiet week.
It's not today. The job, I mean.
Alright, fine.
Just
Call
talk
it
it
a
through.
trial run.
Yeah. Grace sort of leads you to where the hatch door into the cellar was that everyone kind of escaped through. She kind of tries to lift it up a bit. It doesn't go. Crag walks over, steps through it, gestures down for you all.
Okay. I think, Vesper kind of, like, glares at Crag in a way that's very, like, I'm probably gonna have to fix that. So I think he just looks at it and was like, thanks. And descends.
Absolutely. You descend into what looks for all intents and purposes like a regular, average, dusty old wine cellar. You've probably never been down here before. Grace walks to one of the bottle racks, sort of runs her hands up and down looking for something, finds it, grabs a bottle on the shelf and kind of twists it, and then you hear like a section of wall comes loose. Here, this will be faster. We're hidden out in the Undercity for now. Not so far down that we have to deal with monsters, but far down enough the Magisterium won't come for us. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, lead the way. Look at you all grown up with your secret passages and...
I'm sure you'll have your own soon. Oh, Eris says hi, by the way. She wants to give you a piece of her mind.
Of course she fucking does. What else is new?
You progress through a maze of dark, narrow, twisting tunnels. It's kind of bizarre down here in a way. Have you ever been in the Undercity before? Ever gone diving?
I don't think so. I think this is all new to Vesper. The only way he would have been down here is for a job, and I don't think that any mages like in the Magisterium would ever have a reason to be down here and or know about it. So no, probably not.
Then Eris is here, and Vesper, your experiences are all broadly the same then as you traverse these narrow, twisting, worked stone hallways. You've heard of the Undercity before. Folks used to live in this place before Zenith was built, and Zenith was built on top of that stuff. But you've not quite seen it before. It didn't quite ring true in a tangible way before now. You look to your left and your right, and you see carvings, art, sometimes runes or what appears to be language carved into the wall, painted onto the wall. Every once in a while, you'll see stairs or some kind of hole leading deeper underground. When you pass these areas, every once in a while, you might hear scuttling, screeching, or the sounds of something else going on underground further. But you don't have to deal with that right now. You progress through, and you soon find yourselves all together, more or less, outside of like a large, sort of solid, smooth granite wall, essentially. Crag walks up to it, pulls out like his big old axe, and just kind of gently like taps the wall a couple of times in an odd sequence of contact, and the wall rises, and you're able to progress into what is a bustling underground shelter. You see adventurers, divers, miscellaneous soldier types of all kinds. You see civilians hanging out, hiding. There's places for beds. You pass by a little sort of hospital room, for lack of a better word, and you eventually, through this sort of complex of very organized, rigidly positioned square rooms, you find yourself in a large space full of dozens of people, all kind of moving around, talking. There are large sets of maps in the middle of the space on a large table, and this figure that you know as the king sort of stands looking over the maps of the city with different points, and nods as you all come in. Ah, good. I've been waiting for you. Come in.
I think Vesper kind of sticks close to Grace, feeling very... I think he feels out of his element here. Feels bigger than the kind of resistance-oriented work he's used to doing as like a solo agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Zahir comes in. They're curious, so their eyebrows are furrowed. They're just like, if they were looking for them, trying to see if there's recognition, and like if that's the person that they're looking, that was looking for him.
The king. Yeah, I would say that's the person that's looking for you. It doesn't take much to identify that. He kind of pointedly looks at you as you come in.
Hello. And they'll like have a hand to like shake.
Sure. Shake hand back. Well, I have two things I want to discuss with the three of you. The first, easier one, I suppose. I would like to extend an invitation to invite the three of you to join the cause, as it were. We've seen your work, and I trust you. Grace also vouches for you. We could use your skills, and things are changing. Whatever happens in these next few weeks, months, the city is not going to be the same, and you can participate in that, or you can go it alone. You could wait and see what happens. But if you want to work together, I want to extend the offer. I can provide money, secrets, protection, gear. Our partnership will be based on something more akin to equal footing than what you might have found with Caroline.
You had me at money, and you had me with that last bit.
Very good.
You're familiar with our relationship with Caroline?
Yes, I am. I've worked with her briefly too, though that relationship is soured.
So you know that we are not coming here with the best trust for a partnership.
I understand. I can't obviously force you to do anything, though.
No, but you could tip the scales a little bit further into our side.
How so? Let's negotiate.
If they could, they would look to Vesper and Eris and Grace and Crag. Because they haven't had like a moment to kind of even say anything, so they kind of say, they look to back to the king as it would be unkind for me to negotiate without at least speaking to them.
Of course. If you'd like, I can... Well, I'll need to stay in here, though you're welcome to speak privately somewhere else. You can have your discussion in front of me, whatever suits you.
Zahir will turn around. He has his arms crossed and he looks to Vesper and Grace, kind of sticking close, and like Eris and Crag. I'm curious on what he wants. It seems to be involved with me. I have reason to be here. Another partnership for us? I don't like it. I won't. The last one didn't go so well. So, if we can negotiate, what would you want to add to this? To make it easier, I guess.
To be honest, Grace already asked me to join up. I trust her judgment. I don't have a lot of trust for many other things right now. And as always, somebody needs to do something. So I'm leaning towards biting the bullet, as it were. I've got conversations of my own to have before I can make it official, but...
Mm-hmm. Does Grace need more money or anything to repair, or like for the like anything for repairs or
At the ballroom?
Yeah.
Grace wouldn't be the primary point of contact there.
It would be
but
yeah.
You could probably assume that if Grace is still plugged into her community, which it seems that she is, she's funneling some quantity of money in that direction.
Okay. Trying to think what else. It's just Zahir is very like nervous to step into another partnership. If it was like, oh hey, it's a job, we're hiring you, this feels more like Caroline, and that's the ringing bells in him. So you see like at least Eris and Vesper, who was closest, that they could see his eyes kind of like scanning options like from left to right. Okay, I'm going to... We have a wanted status. Now, they might not be able to do a lot on it, but we need protection. Somewhere to hide out.
I can do that. They have safe houses throughout the city. They have, so far as I'm aware, gone undetected.
These two, they're joining on because of other reasons, not a direct reason. They need to... I don't know. If funds are not a problem, I will deduct some of mine for increasing their payment at the end.
That's reasonable. I'll do what I can to facilitate that.
There's a couple other things I like. I feel like Zahir would, but Mozz, my brain is like, eh. So Zahir just like nods and like looks to Vesper and Eris, Grace and Crag, gives a nod, turns, and just extends a hand to like accept.
Yeah. You get a handshake in return. The king is tired. You can tell this is a man kind of run down by circumstances, but he gives you a warm smile and a firm handshake nonetheless. So, you're all in?
Let's call it a trial basis.
We can work with that. I've extended some degree of trust already by bringing you into this place, and I will extend some more by discussing the other thing I wanted to talk to you three about. There's someone coming to the city soon, a man named Khalil Khan, bringing his wife and his 6-year-old daughter. Man is a diabolist, some kind of wizard with an interest in hell. Based on everything we've been seeing in the city above, that's not a partnership I intend to allow to happen. And our intelligence suggests that is exactly what he intends to do. He intends to ally those two factions. So here I understand you have history with this person?
Zahir's face is like, I don't know, that anime just angry. Like, what name did you just say? His wife and child are here.
On their way. 6 days out. They'll arrive on visitation day.
He just has fists for hands, and like every vein is like popping out. He's like grinding his jaw, but he's silent. He's listening just intently, but for sure y'all could see it if y'all are sitting next to him.
In this moment of heightened emotion, you feel the divine nature kind of bearing down on you. Not enough to cause a transformation, but you're being observed. Not necessarily asking you to by yourselves go out and assassinate this person, although that is certainly one of our options. But Zahir, if you can share with us anything you know about this individual, we need to find out some way to make sure that we don't have some kind of unholy union between the Magisterium and whatever's happening in hell.
They turn to Vesper and Eris, and they're kind of like whispering for a second before they say, Khalil is a piece of shit. And I do not know what they will do, but I do know what they will do if you are to cross them. And if my instinct is right, then the one he calls his wife and daughter is my wife and daughter that he is bringing to the city. So we are messing with someone who could be dangerous if we do not stop him.
Well, if those are the circumstances, it sounds like it would also be dangerous to stop him. Is he bringing them as some kind of bait? Leverage?
I'm not sure.
He doesn't think of me as threat enough. Mm-hmm. And he like cracks his neck every single time he hears that. Mm-hmm. But Zahir just repeats, like, he doesn't think of me as threat enough to debate. He probably thinks I'm I've disappeared into the dirt. At least from the last time I've seen him.
Well, we could use that to our advantage if it comes to it.
I agree. And you see like little wrappings start to come up, and he's like holding his fist really hard to like push them away. He hasn't met my friend.
Go ahead and roll me like a wisdom saving throw real quick.
He is not very wisdomous. And that is a 3. Like, fuck.
No.
Unfortunately, that will not do it. So, Zahir, as the tension continues to build and the divine nature just continues to bear down on you, you fight back the emergence of Kamar, but you are unable to resist the transformation for any longer, and Zahir takes a back seat for the moment.
Mar comes out like ready to fight, so he's grabbing the first thing, and like if there's something in the room, he is trying to break it, and he like where is he? Where now? Tell me now. And he's just trying to like get straight to the end of it.
As you come into Kamar, as you come into this body and emerge in a sort of wrathful riot in which you grab a chair and out of just sheer frustration and raw strength just tear it apart, everything kind of stops. Everyone kind of turns their eyes. Everything's silent for a brief moment. The king seems unfazed. They're 6 days out, traveling overland through the Outlands.
He's just like breathing in and out, like he is. Mars not a 6 days out person. So he's just like, so he said, like, sits down onto the ground, puts his hands like together, and you just see like these two white eyes like under the mat, the wrappings, and says like, and I wait. And he stays very still like that, with Zahir in the center, like banging, like, no, like you have to sleep and you have to do this. And he's like, no.
We have reason to believe he wants to attend the visitation. So we know where he will be at least one place and time. Fortunately, that's where half the city will be, at that place and time. So we cannot start a fight there.
I think Vesper heaves a great sigh and kind of rubs his temples upon hearing that. Of course, it couldn't be fucking easy.
Is there anything else I can tell you? Any other way I can assist at the moment?
So, yeah, what exactly do you want from us? I am, let's say, averse to any more blood running through these streets, especially on the biggest holiday of the year.
Absolutely.
This is a kidnapping. Is this an assassination?
Broadly, I trust your judgment. If you find it most useful or most convenient to kidnap, then kidnap. If you need to assassinate, then assassinate. I do not recommend staging either of these plans during the visitation, but do what you have to do. Follow him, keep an eye on him. Know what he's up to, and interrupt him before he is able to cause bigger problems for us.
But you
Rely on
don't
the
know
skill.
who he's meeting with, when, anything.
Relied on specifics. We know he will at some point be meeting with the Magisterium. I don't know what that looks like or what particular individuals that will be with, but it's a safe bet that at some point he will be at the Magisterial Tower. With the number of fiends we have running the streets these days, well, we have reason to believe he will probably make contact with at least some of them as well, given his talents. I understand this is not a lot to go on, but I remind you, we still have time. We will continue collecting intelligence, and plans can change. A partnership like the one that Khan could potentially broker, that won't happen overnight. But we need to keep an eye on him, and he needs to be removed at some. As for the nature of this partnership, what I'm expecting from you, use the abilities you've already demonstrated to help us. I don't know what that looks like once this is all over, but until we reach that point, we are going to be opposing the Magisterium. We're going to keep eyes on the red presence. Try and drive hell out of our city streets. Objections? Thoughts?
Guess I'll get in touch with my contacts, find what I can figure out.
Eris would also just kind of put a hand on Kamar's shoulder, just be like, kind of grip it a little bit, just be like, your time will come, just hold out for a bit.
This is probably the first time you see like Kamar not reacting in that very happy-go-lucky way, especially with Eris. They're sitting right there. They're gonna sit right there for 6 days, and they're not letting Zahir like wake up. They're just like here, and you just see him stare off into like that. What's it called? The 30-yard stare? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
1,000 yard.
Yeah.
1,000
yard.
Oh, yeah.
I know my reference. No, I don't. They're just like just full mask, sitting there, and like if you could in a distant like you just like deep in the mind, Zahir is just like just floating in consciousness, just wanting to see her face again. And even though he wants to come out and like stop this, that is also fueling him from like not moving. This is incredible too, because he doesn't need to long rest just so he could do this. So he just sits there very still.
All right. At this point, the king kind of nods. Well, that's the extent of what I intended on discussing with you today. Feel free to familiarize yourself with the shelf. And if you have any questions, I or somebody else here will be able to help in whatever way we can. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Touch.
Yeah, you're muted.
I think Eris would shake her head no for now. It just didn't pick up. Yeah.
All right. What do you do for the next? I don't know. How do you familiarize yourself with the space?
I mean, we have to move. We probably have to physically move Kamar in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, what is it? Where is it in his chambers that we're in?
You're in basically the war room. You're in the situation room, for lack of a better word. This is seems like a nerve center where there are plans being made, not necessarily anyone's chambers.
Okay, so they could technically stay here, right?
Nothing stopping you.
Yeah, that's the one thing, like, that he would not be moved. He would sit here until you guys come in and say, like, okay, we're moving out. Especially because this is like the very thing that he was made for, and the very thing like he's in for. He's not a planner. He's not a chef. If he didn't lose that with something, he would totally. So he totally would. But like Kamar is sitting, and you just see this very serious face, like, you come call me when we are ready to go.
There is planning and contacts and other aspects of this that we do need to hear for if we're going to be successful. We don't know
another wisdom
anything.
saving throw.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say that we could do a roll off, whatever
I was
you
about
want
to say,
to do.
yeah, I would love for if
Do this
Vesper
with an-
needed, Eris would give advantage to like this persuasion check that might happen.
I was gonna say, Kamar, you can make this one with advantage.
Right, because my first one was also a 3.
Let's go
Okay,
20.
13.
13, that'll do it.
Yeah.
What? Good.
I will say he says no at first, but you see this, like, I don't know, the mask kind of soften. So, he's not going to break really quickly, but like over like the next 10-20 minutes, you see them slowly like unwrapping. And Zahir finally, like, is just sitting there very quietly. We have to plan. That is the only way we get her. And they'll get up and like follow you.
First part, I think during that conversation and kind of trying to appeal to Zahir, I don't know. I think Vesper probably looked a little more desperate than you'd seen him look. Desperate and guilt-ridden, if I had to flavor his words, his manner of speaking. Maybe unsure. So I think he would just kind of silently walk alongside you as we exit.
Sure. Is there anything in particular you'd like to look for, do? This is a fully stocked sort of command center type location.
I'm assuming they have like a trader slash
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
buyer of like general like supplies and stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
And let's say you can add 50 gold to your sheet for finding Kamar, or Zahir rather.
Nice.
You got paid. You could just had to call me up.
Well, again,
Just split it up, but no.
they couldn't find you. What can I say? Girls gotta get paid somehow.
Gotta get that bag.
Do we know, is there something that we can, like, where they're meeting at or where they're going to be staying at? Is there something in the city that we can map out, at least in this room? Like a central little map table?
Like in terms of maybe likely locations to find him at, or likely
Yeah.
locations to keep an eye on? Sure, yeah. Like I said, you're in sort of the war room initially, and there is a large map of the city, and you are able to, interact with and do stuff with that map as well. The large kind of almost crescent shape city of Zenith is laid out before you. There are already several pins in the magisterial tower. Adding one more there seems reasonable. Go ahead and you can roll a history check with advantage. Whoever's best at history, just to kind of like construct an idea of the city and what likely places you might find a diabolist.
How is your history?
As before, as Zahir is very wisdomous and not at all intelligent like that. The very, very, basic level of education in the city. That's what he says. That's it.
But you got a 1?
And that is a 0.
A 1. Oh, damn. I have a +1 if that helps.
All right.
Do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see that +1 with advantage, yo.
I think it's I do think that the solo +1 that he has is because of his work with the church, and that is it. Like there is nothing that existed before that. Well shit, that's a 19. And that is a 13. So that's a dirty 20 for the larger one. Sorry, it fell.
All right, absolutely. So I would say there are probably 4 major locations that you can kind of identify as likely suspects. One certainly is the magisterial tower. The other is the House of Reason, the center of worship of Enuma Elish in the city. So you know he's going to be there during the visitation. Another likely location is a place called the Half Moon Inn and Tavern. This is one of the most expensive, lavish sort of places for travelers in the city. It is, I forget the word I used for that district off the top of my head, TBH, but it's in a much wealthier part of the district, city, rather far from the walls. And I would say a 4th one is, at this point, you have reason to believe he would probably be at the Central City Market, spending some time. Any traveler would probably spend some amount of time there. This is the center of urban commerce for the largest city in the world. It also happens to have just a ton of fucking devils around it these days. Making deals, selling, buying souls. Seems like a good lead for sure. As you are sort of making your plans, I would say both of y'all, and probably Eris too, catch a very hurried interaction as a couple of divers show up in, seem to be civilian clothes, but they've got sort of weapons on them. This young, clean-shaven dwarf man with long black hair tied back into a ponytail and these kind of dull gray eyes, kind of like almost runs up to the king. Carolina the Beloved were spotted near the observatory. Larkspur is watching them. King kind of nods, begins to coordinate some surveillance or something along those lines. Eris, you just missed a couple of adventurers running into the room saying that Caroline and the Beloved were spotted by an old abandoned observatory.
Oh boy.
As a point of clarification, because I don't know what y'all did during downtime, but in the time since the ballroom raid, we, or rather our characters, don't know about her involvement with that, right? Like, or not really involvement, but just like, you know, that it's kind of collateral for her, essentially.
Yeah,
Plans. Find it, yeah.
The king for sure holds that perspective and is not shy about it.
And that makes sense.
Eris has been introduced to that idea through the king.
Okay.
Or at least had that idea sort of confirmed by an outside party.
I see.
How y'all have split that information up, I assume you would have talked about it, but that's up to y'all.
I've been busy. I don't... Probably not.
Yeah, this probably might have been like the first time we've seen Vesper in like a hot minute since the
You would certainly like be able to clock that by how things are going.
Yeah.
The king does not have a high view of Caroline.
I was gonna say, I think Vesper's reaction, what I'm getting to, sorry, is that like I think that his reaction to this is maybe just like so, and maybe he's just kind of, if they're still looking at that map or whatever of the city, I think he might like glance over his shoulder and just like keep paying attention to the map.
Yeah, absolutely. So you would see on a northwestern part of the map, sort of that tip of the crescent of Zenith that kind of looks over into the bay, there is a location with, again, several pins in it. And if you were to ask around or kind of peek at it, you would deduce that this location is referred to as the Blind Eye. It is a safe house for the divers. It is an abandoned observatory that is no longer in use because mages do not need telescopes to study the stars. They can scry. And evidently, Caroline and the Beloved are in the vicinity.
How pissed off are we?
Excellent question.
Like, if Zahir is looking around the room and they hear that, what is everyone's like first instinct? Like, because Zahir you see them like kind of almost turning to the door, but seeing like a present thing that they have to focus on. And on his face too, it's like unfinished business. So he'll take a look over to Vesper and Eris.
Quick roll because I want to see how well Eris does with.
I was like, "What are you rolling, my friends?"
So, normally, Eris is a very business-oriented, pragmatic kind of person. That's their general sort of outlook. However, given the events of the ballroom raid and the cloud visions that she had seen right before the event happened as well, and sort of being, and that combined with sort of being influenced by the king's sort of position that, okay, Caroline is not good, we don't like Caroline here. She sort, and given also what she just learned, she sort of kind of put a little piece together that, okay, yeah, I don't know if I really like Caroline anymore after this, and she'd normally be able to kind of hold her emotions in very well. But kind of when she thinks back to everything at the event of the ballroom raid, the people, the destruction, the innocents that were like hurt, injured, killed even, and in the events after, there is a rare show of genuine anger on Eris's face. And it's not just even like subdued, it is almost unrestrained anger. I rolled a 4 on that, by the way, just for context.
Excellent. As this anger begins to take hold, Abhishek, congratulations! You rolled the high roll before the session started. Can you make a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage?
Of course! Yay! Okay. A 16 with disadvantage.
A 16. That'll do it. So you're able to shrug off the negative effects of what happens as your anger boils over and a vision takes hold. In a candlelit basement, 24 figures in red robes prepare for violence. They paint each other's faces with ash mixed with blood, marking intricate patterns that pulse in the dim light. Their movements are methodical, ritualistic, checking weapons, donning armor, all in complete silence. But it's their eyes that strike you the most. Fever bright with purpose, yet somehow empty, as if looking through this world and into another. One figure stands apart, reading from scattered pages that seem to smoke at the edges. Through violence, transformation. Through transformation, transcendence. The vision shifts. You get hazy images of the outer ward, but specifics don't quite come to you, like smoke refusing to take shape. What remains clear is their intent. Today they mean to kill in the name of the beloved. You return to yourself.
Like she's almost sort of gasping for breath again, because as she sort of like shifted from that anger to the vision, her eyes almost sort of rolled into the back of her head for like for those who like did kind of see it, it was very not unsettling to say the least. And then just all of a sudden, oh, this is going to get so much worse. I hate it when these things happen. She almost like searches for like a drink on reflex to sort of just like just stomach down something, so she doesn't have to just like feel like the lump in her throat that just developed during that. Through the vision, was she able to get like any sort of, and even in like the first part, was she able to get like any sort of like details, even like regarding, even like not even just the people, like the place where they were or anything?
Sure. Go ahead and what's your best mental attribute?
My best mental attribute would be my charisma.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a charisma check. Let me know if you get above a 10. Can you reach back into that and pull something out of it?
I rolled a 10 flat.
Hell yeah, let's do it. You are able to almost retreat back into your mind, and you feel the vision slipping away. It's almost as if you see two worlds with kind of somewhat transparently overlapping on each other. It almost feels as if you reach out and grasp the tail of something slippery that's fleeing. You're not able to get a specific idea of where these people are, what basement in the city that they are, but you get a sort of gut reaction as the Lich Lord Tavern comes to mind.
Okay. I think sort of coming off of that remembrance and sort of getting that gut feeling, She'll sort of make her way over to the map table / area if they're still kind of there, and she'll kind of look at the area exactly where the Lich Lord Tavern is, sort of just almost sort of just like frantically like either marking it or circling it with just something to like draw importance to it.
Zahir and Vesper, y'all are sitting there hearing stuff about the Beloved going on. You're looking up at this northwest corner of the city, potentially having ideas of moving out or maybe not. And then all of a sudden, Eris just kind of like goes still, goes into shock for 2 seconds, emerges from that, and immediately starts scrambling for a map to mark a different section of the city.
Are we changing our plans?
Not exactly. It's just it's way too long of a story for me to explain right now, but I've been seeing things lately. Best way to put it. She'll look towards Vesper, and I happened to see a vision of the attack on the ballroom before it happened. So there's something coming. Something big. I think it has to do with here. And she'll point to that spot that she circled, the Lich Lord Tavern.
Okay. Going to table most of my questions. Because you do look like shit, and I weirdly believe you. But what big, can you specific? There are a lot of big things happening right now.
She'll go ahead and relay what she saw in the vision, the masked figures, the almost preparations for battle and war, and the sermon, especially the sermon that she heard that one figure give, and its implications that might have that it kind of gives off. There is going to be another bloodbath soon. At least that's what I think.
That does seem to align with what I've had the misfortune of overhearing from them.
And I would say one interesting thing to note here, Eris, is that this is the first time you've gotten the sense that these people are just out for blood, generally. I mean, certainly they are violent and they act on that often. But what I suppose I mean is that a lot of times they fight the Magisterium or factions aligned with that. This, you get the sense they're just going out and killing.
Just people.
It seems like their mission is to destabilize.
Yeah, and that's probably what strikes a chord with Eris the most, and what sort of almost pains her the most, because she doesn't, in all her jobs she does not like to get the innocent involved. No matter what she will do. Yeah, guards, maybe she'll knock them out. If an assassination target, she'll definitely do it. Yeah, if they're definitely evil, yeah, you got to come into you. But if you're innocent, if you have nothing to do, or you're just a bystander, quick knockout, quick bribe, any non-lethal solution to get them out of her way, she will take it. But this deliberate act of wanton violence towards the innocents is what's setting her off almost. What's making her almost this frantic, this pissed really, honestly, because
absolutely
there's always a better way than to just randomly kill the innocent, because at this point you're just becoming a barbarian.
Yeah.
Okay. Did your vision give a time frame or anything?
No, I
kind of
couldn't,
have a lot of things going on.
couldn't quite hold on to it, but given the track record for what I've seen, might be sooner rather than later. We'll say that. It'll be safe to assume that at least. And almost like feelers, like trying to at least calm herself down, but it's not exactly working.
Mm-hmm.
She's still very like sort of agitated, hyped up, like slowly trying to calm her breathing down, but she's still sort of like her breath is still sort of hitching a little bit, like. Just. I don't know what to do. I really don't. Like, I know we have this job, and then.
Well, you make it sound like we probably need to move.
Yeah, that's a safe assumption.
Zahir is clutching at the necklace on his chest, and he has like kind of tears streaming down his face. And when he pulls it off, he'll put it onto the table, and he like looks over how flimsy it is, and it was clearly made by a child, and he puts it down and says, I'll see you soon, my love. And thinks of his daughter. And he looks up at Eris and says, if we need to move, then let us go now before I regret it.
I think that is where we will take our mid-session break. We're going to take 5-10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Back to Zenith. We here have just been considering Vesper in a maid outfit, and I hope now that you can enjoy that image as much as we have. That
You're
said, that said, let's get back into it. The three of you have just learned of likely activity from the Red Presence tonight. What's the move?
I think for Eris, she'll definitely make preparations to move out as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Stop and do anything. Pray, pick up some healing potions.
Yeah, definitely. Pick up some healing potions. I think what else? I think she's good on weapons, I think. She might shop around to see if they have any like interesting weapons at the store that they might have picked up from their battles/travels.
Yeah, sure. So as far as healing potions, these things are in they're made here plentifully, but obviously there's plenty of need as well.
Right,
so you're
yeah.
able to come up with 3 potions of healing. These will restore 2d4 plus 4 hit points each. And I don't remember if we touched on this earlier, but in this game, you can consume potions as a bonus action.
Okay.
So you're able to, yes, and you are able to come up with, you're able to come up with 3 healing potions at no charge.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Well, for his part, Vesper doesn't normally prepare for other shit he does, and I'm not gonna change that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he will just kind of like heave a sigh and like get up slowly and maybe put his hand on Grace's shoulder and say like, I guess I'd see you later.
Abhishek, you were shopping, right?
Yeah.
So what are you looking like on gold?
Currently, I am looking on my sheet. About 334 gold, roughly.
All right, cool. I would say you could spend. This is metagaming. I don't give a shit. What kind of weapons do you use again?
Mainly rapiers, but she has been known to use daggers as well. But mainly rapiers, because that's her bread and butter.
All right, cool. I would say that you are able to, the most relevant thing that you are able to find, because you go into the armory, and you find the quartermaster, this very old elvish man. He seems probably almost as old as Mistress Corinaday, the woman who ran, I suppose, the Spider House ballroom. And in addition to a bunch of, essentially like standard gear, there are a variety of weapons and armor that seem to have been unearthed from the delves. These things occupy space anywhere from old to ancient. And what is probably most appropriate for you now, and you can let me know if you would like to look for something specific, but most relevant to you now would be you find a immaculately well-preserved, gleaming silver rapier, almost fluid in its form and its weight in your hand. This particular artifact, A, is a +1 weapon. B, it will allow you to cast the spell Misty Step once per day, or once per long rest. Finally, just as a point of interest, this particular item is from a period of history known as the Time of Terror. It was a time of magical upheaval, during which some of the great wizards of old temporarily blotted out the sun, and it was just perpetually dark. This period of time lasted about 70 years.
Interesting. How much are they charging?
200 gold.
Let's see.
In theory, this could be negotiated as well.
In theory, okay. Let's see. Any sort of types of armor that would be good, roughly, because she also will be shopping around for armor just in case as well, because she did get hit pretty hard in her last fight as well. So, rather not have that happen again.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I would say for roughly a similar price, let's call this 175, you're able to find a suit of +1 studded leather armor that will allow you to cast the shield spell once per day.
Ooh. Okay.
If anyone else wants to roughly let me know how much money you have and what kind of things you would look for, we can do that as well.
I feel like Zahir still only has that 200 gold. They are also looking for better armor. They're kind of gearing up for not just this to be like the big something big. They're like also gearing up for something, probably the biggest thing that they've been looking for too. So anything that like they either use like crossbows, their main moon sickle, or like they do like lots of Eldritch Blast. So other than that, they're just trying to see if they can get something more like stronger to protect them from for armor.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I would say one of the things that you're able to find as far as armor goes is you are also able to find mechanically, this will be a set of +1 studded leather armor, and this will allow you to learn one additional warlock spell. And this will cost Let's call it 120 gold. In theory, all of these things can be negotiated. And I will say that this particular piece is very ancient. It's weathered beyond what you expect typical magical gear to be in condition. Usually, magical gear holds its condition better than this. This is from the time of creation. This is kind of the first era of history that is known from when most people groups hadn't yet known each other. You wanna buy it?
Yes, but I'm scared.
You
Um,
never know.
say that one more time while I write this down. Yeah.
What the item is?
Yeah, what you were saying there right at the end, because I got scared.
So as far as the history of it, this is a piece from the time of creation. This is a piece from it's ancient, and it was made during a time when there hadn't been any large regional empires or states in that way. Bordering on prehistory is when this was made. It is a piece of +1 studded leather armor, and it will allow you to learn 1 additional warlock spell. You can get all of this for the bargain price of 120 gold.
Okay, I'm just going to negotiate just to get it to 100.
100? Sure. Go ahead and roll. Let's call this a DC 12 persuasion check. Or you can use intimidation or deception if you would like. If that's better for you.
He's not Kamar, so he's not scary looking. Yeah. He's going to be very DC 12.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. It's a 6.
A 6, unfortunately, will not do it. The quartermaster kind of shakes his head as you produce only 100 gold.
And he just opens his little bag.
We're all tight on money now, but I'm afraid I can't let it go for that price.
I don't know. I understand. Yeah. There's gold coins I could have eaten, but it's fine. They'll just get it for 120.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think Eris will focus on the armor, because you said it was I know you said it was studded leather, but I don't remember if you said it was +1 or not.
+1, it lets you cast shield once per day.
Okay, and you said it was 175. You said?
I believe so. Yeah.
She's gonna try to negotiate that down to 150.
Sure. Go ahead and roll persuasion, 15 gold. Let's call that DC 12 persuasion check.
All right. You said DC 15?
DC 12.
12, sorry. Okay. Sickness. That is. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, that'll do it. He kind of I have been holding on to this for a while. He kind of looks over subtly at Zahir. All right, I'll do it, but don't tell the other guy. I didn't give him a deal.
I think Eris sort of gives him a sly little wink and
All right, thanks for the gold. Now get out of here.
Pleasure doing business.
Vesper, do you do any shopping?
I mean, I think I'm poor, bro.
Eh.
I don't think I got that much.
Sure.
Should have done some jobs.
I've been busy making the world a better place. I think that he probably is just chatting with Grace, to be honest with you, and just kind of you know what? I think he'll as the others are shopping or whatever and clamoring amongst themselves, I think that he would maybe pull Grace to the side and say, listen, we're gonna go take care of this red present shit, but when I get back, I really need to talk to you about something.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Grace kind of nods. All right, where are you going? What's happening? Your job is 6 days away.
Yeah, long story short, Eris has been having visions. I don't know. But the last one apparently came true. And I know she is untrustworthy, but I believe her about this. She seemed genuinely shaken. She seems to think there's some kind of an attack brewing involving the red presence. So should at least go look into it.
No, at least she's lucky enough that her visions mean something.
True.
Mine are just all weird, you know?
You do cloud?
No, I don't. Out of character for a second. Everyone who lives here long enough probably experiences at least one vision. People just get visions out here. They're oftentimes not frequent, and they're often completely random. Cutting back into Grace. No, I don't do cloud. But you know, whenever they just like happen, it's always like a day at a market.
Oh, you mean the regular ones? Okay.
Yeah,
I was concerned for a moment about what kind of things Crag got you into.
I think I will be shocked if I ever catch Crag taking cloud. It doesn't really seem to be his thing.
It was my attempt at a joke, Grace. But we're gonna go check this out, I guess.
Good luck. And yeah, we'll talk after.
All right, sounds good. I think he'll just kind of silently make his way to the entrance or whatever.
Roll me a perception check quick.
Ooh, let me use my good D20. Let's see. Perception. Okay. 4. So 15.
15, that'll absolutely do it. As you are talking with Grace, and specifically as you're like walking away, you hear like some kind of hushed whispers about the siblings being here, or the siblings being together, working together. The siblings are on our side. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Vesper would kind of just push it aside.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not talking about us.
Probably.
Out of character, hair flip, but...
Absolutely. We're all able to gather at the entrance to the shelf, and fortunately enough, actually, there's an entrance to the shelf. There's a route to the shelf from the Lich Lord Tavern, so you're able to stay underground the whole way if you'd like to.
Is that for me? Sorry.
No, just anybody. Like, what's the route? What's the move? How are you approaching? You could stay underground the entire way and come up from the cellar of the Lich Lord, or you could take the streets. What's the move? How you know?
Streets might not be the best idea. So I think getting there as fast as possible might be the goal, especially considering we already have we're already kind of in the Undercity. We can kind of use those underground passageways to
absolutely
sneak about.
Mm-hmm. Then in that case, if that's the route you're going, I would say that at some point someone is given a map, a rough map of the Undercity. Let's say actually as you're heading out, Crag kind of hands you this rolled up scroll. It's a map of down here. Don't let anyone get a hold of this.
Understood.
And you're able to progress through the Undercity. Any talk while you're heading there?
How many days out are we?
From the arrival of Khalil. 6 days.
Okay, so it's still the same day. Great.
Yes.
No, Zahir is just like anxious, kind of gritting his teeth and just reviewing anything that anyone has talked about before. So just like, let's see, okay, got this, and this. Oh, all right, practice this, and they're just flipping their moonsicle around to like practice as they're walking.
I like to think Vesper is navigating, actually. He strikes me as the navigation type.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that he is... I feel like he's just eager to get this over with, to be honest with you. So I don't think he's super chatty. I think you could tell he's probably... Well, he definitely seems slightly distracted. But is able to kind of just like, all right, left here, and then just kind of is off in his own world, and then like go straight. Is just kind of navigating.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Normally, while Eris would be very vocal and very bantery, a lot of like lightheartedness from her normally would be the case, especially during like a job like this. There's really no trace of that this time. Before, she's been very sort of happy-go-lucky, very sort of Robin Hood-esque, and like just kind of flirting with danger, flirting with the risk that could happen. But after seeing said risks happen out in front of her and the implications that could happen for this one especially, that sort of flirtatiousness and lightheartedness is devoid in her current expression. She's just blank, serious, stoic, and just wanting to get there as soon as possible so that she can stop, or at least they can stop whatever is about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Sure, absolutely. And in that case, you are able to navigate the Undercity quickly and with great efficiency. Not certainly very, very much assisted by the fact that Vesper's dark vision is among the best in the known world, and you're able to move through these tunnels, this upper level of the Undercity, relatively undisturbed. Certainly, you pass by areas that seem to be battlefields. You pass by large rooms which still have like skeletons lying over in the corner, both of humanoid divers and of creatures. You pass through large, expansive caverns with intricate runes, sort of like carved or painted into the ground in these sort of magic circles, for lack of a better way to describe it. It's all incomprehensible and somewhat alien to you, but you're able to move through the bones of the old world with relative ease. Soon enough, you find yourself at a small little, like, almost like a rope ladder, just kind of like dangling down from a hatch maybe 10 feet up.
I'll go up first.
You go up first?
Yeah. Go up first. Trying to be as quiet as possible. To open this, do we know where exactly this hatch, like, is it inside or outside of the establishment? Like, is that indicated by the map at all?
This is inside the basement of the Lich Lord Tavern.
All right, yeah. They'll definitely, like, kind of quietly get the hatch open and try and just make sure nobody's around before emerging, so...
Sure. Can someone roll me a die? Tell me if you get even or odd.
Even.
All right, good for you. You pop open the hatch and emerge into the basement of the Lich Lord Tavern. It is more expansive and more well stocked than the basement to the Spider House Ballroom, but broadly, it is the basement to a tavern in the city. It's a relatively familiar and unassuming space. Nothing
Yeah,
seems
I
to be
think
amiss.
he'll
You
kind
don't
of
hear anything wild from upstairs.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was gonna say, do I? In that case, I think he would just kind of like signal the all clear to follow him up, and still probably like find a dark corner behind some boxes or something to chill at for a moment while the others emerge.
Sure, absolutely. The others, you emerge.
I think Eris would also sort of take up a stealthy position, not wanting to be discovered in case there are like any others in the basement, just in case.
Sure, I'll give you this one to you for free. There's nobody else here. There's just the three of you.
Okay, cool.
There may very well be people up top. You don't hear much of anything, but certainly there's nobody down here.
I guess after finding that no one is here, I guess Eris would take a look around. If there's any like signs of what she did see in that vision.
Nothing here. Again, that you couldn't tell where they were at the point in time. It's not this specific basement, and you're not in an area where like they would get to first. They'd have to fight through the entire the entire establishment, get to the hatch, and then decide to go down if you were to meet anyone devious in this
True. I mean, she's looking for signs that like, okay, that she's not like crazy, basically, that she did like what she did see is about to happen or something.
In that case, like, nothing yet.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Zahir, what's going on with you?
Zahir's following Eris at this point. They're just on like autopilot, so they kind of are. They're looking in places as well. Could I roll as well?
Sure. What are you rolling?
Perception.
Sure.
Got a 4.
So unfortunately, you don't really clock anything until you hear the door at the top of the stairs sort of fly open. Second. At this point, the two of you see Nettle, the bartender here, just sort of burst in what appears to be a panic.
Whoa. Hey. Whoa.
There's people outside. There's a whole mob of them.
Like, mob of who? Like,
the red presence guys.
Fuck. Okay, lovely.
I need to get everybody out.
Points to like the cellar they just came from. Go.
It's not many people who still come here, but let me. She turns around and heads back up. What's a move for y'all?
Zahir's against the wall, kind of like getting close to, like letting them pass, or if they have people, they're just like by mission kind of thing. So they're trying to get closer to see what they see through that door.
The Lich Lord Tavern, before this, was one of the most popular places in the city. Always packed with people, always packed with adventurers. This place is never left defenseless. But in the wake of the raids by the Magisterium, it seems that this place has been abandoned as a spot for the divers. That seems to have worked in some sense for keeping the building intact. And in this particular public business not being sort of raided. But it does mean that A, the number of patrons has gone way down, and B, the type of patrons who are still here, not exactly divers, not people that would attract attention. As a result, Nettle sort of ushers like 5 miscellaneous civilian drunks into the basement. She looks at the entrance to the Undercity. I don't know if I want to go down there. What are you here for?
Don't stay here.
It's either that
We'll get
or
lost.
she points to the door, like, you deal with them.
What are you just here to evacuate us?
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Lead us somewhere, anywhere but here.
Just, we're not going to be able to do that considering, the mob outside. Just go and we'll hold them off.
There's fucking monsters down there. What do you want me to do?
Listen. They're... Like, we don't have time for this. Just... She sort of looks to the others, like, is it okay if she'll, like, gather them over? Should I just tell them to go to meet up with you-know-who?
No.
You hear glass breaking upstairs.
They will get lost on the way. They can stay right by the ladder. We can put something on the trapdoor, and we can deal with what's outside. But we need to move.
There you go. Easy as that.
All right. They're getting in.
That's why I say we'll hold them off. Just stay down there until we give the all clear.
All right. All the civilians kind of post up in various sort of behind any kind of cover that the basement offers. You hear footsteps up above.
Well then.
Are we being smart? Or are we quiet?
I think the time for being quiet is as past, I think. Unfortunately. I know.
They take like their hand crossbow and their moon sickle, and they're just like, Eris, count us down, and like it's like ready to run.
You hear glass breaking from what seems like the bar area, roughly. You hear frenzied shouting. Something about the powerful wanting to remake the world in their image, and how the people are not going to let that happen.
You can almost see Eris just sort of like crack almost like her fingers, her knuckles, like almost like her neck even, like just almost like a very like vivid sense of like, okay, get ready.
Are y'all staying in the basement waiting for them to come to you, or are you gonna burst out?
I thought Mozz was gonna do something, so I was gonna wait and see.
Yeah, okay. Okay, gotcha.
No, that's anything that could come to the basement would go to them, so like that's what
at least
Zahir's doing.
them there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like burst out, get them to like that's why they wanted Eris to count down, because they're going. Do I have anything? Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, what's the move?
Vesper is behind Zahir. I mean, this is not ideal, but you're not gonna go out there alone.
Yeah. If the time for quiet has passed, well, then
no, unfortunately, considering, yeah. Looking back at the others, I think that Eris is going to give just to give it like a very like, look like you ready, and give a really like 3, 2, 1, go. kind of deal.
All right, the three of you are able to. Well, actually, tell me what do you do? What happens when you say go?
If they're first in line, Zahir will go out and like they're aiming their Eldritch Blasts, if they can, or actually no, they're gonna actually take their crossbow out and come out for like what they're kind of like, who they're looking for, and they'll just start aiming straight down, and yell out like, everybody down or something like that, just to like, find the ones who are like breaking glass, like who they're looking for,
Gotcha.
and let everyone else come behind them.
So fortunately, anyone who's in here, anyone who's like still, the civilians all seem to be in the basement. So when you pop up, it is just a couple dozen members of the cult of the Red Presence. And you have a clear shot. You're basically in a small back room. They're all in the main room, kind of by the bar, essentially, in the center of the space. So you're able to pop up and fire off a shot if you'd like. We'll call that the surprise attack, and then we'll go into initiative.
Awesome. What's a surprise attack mean?
You'll have advantage, and it happens like outside of initiative. So if you were to roll high, you could potentially go twice in a row.
You act like extra first.
Yeah, essentially.
Is 21 high?
For initiative, yes, that is high.
No, for the roll to hit.
Yes,
high.
that is still high.
That's incredibly
Okay.
high.
That'll still hit for sure.
Got a 16 and a 21.
16 and 21. Which one do you want to? Actually, I'll do this. I'll say that we can use the 21 for your initiative roll and the 16 for your attack, because 16 will hit and 21 puts you at the top. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So go ahead and roll damage on that attack. And what's the initiative from Seth and or from Vesper and Eris?
I rolled 10.
7? All right.
10.
10.
14.
14. So the current order is Mozz, Mob, Vesper, and Eris. I should change that to Zahir. And Zahir, what's the damage on that crossbow bolt?
6 for the first one, and 4 for the second.
All right, absolutely. So let me pull up the HP on these bad boys real quick. 10 damage total. All right. All right, so you are able to pop up from the basement, crossbow prepared, and you fire 2 shots into the mob. They hit a couple of random faceless zealots, essentially. None of these people have any sort of unique, distinguishing anything really about them. But you fire in nonetheless, and you hit a couple of people in the crowd. We are now into initiative, and Zahir, you are up again.
That's good. He will. I don't know how this works, but he will fire off Eldritch Blasts into the room as well.
Absolutely, sure. Go ahead and roll your 2 attack rolls, I believe, at this level.
18 for the first one.
That'll hit.
19 for the second one.
That'll hit.
11 damage.
Ooh, putting in work.
6 damage.
6 damage. So another 17 points of damage. Let's go. Let's beef this up a little.
Music's getting me in this fighting mood, because I just imagine them like doing it with the crossbow bolt and then turning around just being like pew 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 with their other hand.
Yeah, sure. So you're able to fire off the 2 bolts from the crossbow, and as you sort of like
they have
pull your
a
arm...
hand crossbow, so it's like
even better.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to fire off 2 bolts from the hand crossbow, and then with your free hand, able to fire off 2 more Eldritch Blasts. You hit the cultists of the Red Presence in something of a frenzy. They are not prepared at all for this to happen. but it is not long before they kind of stabilize and they all turn to you, these like scythes in hand. Get him! And they charge. So let's see what we got here. Uh, 19 will probably hit you. What's your armor class?
16.
16. So an 11 won't. And a 23 will. So let's see. You are going to take. Can you make a Constitution saving throw real quick?
Ooh, that's 18.
18, that'll do it. So you are going to take 22 points of damage. The poison damage is halved by your successful Constitution saving throw. But there's maybe 24 people, and they come and charge you, hacking and slashing. It is clumsy, uncoordinated, but just ripe with an aggressive fervor. Most of the swings miss wildly, but some do connect, and you find these blades are coated with this like Icarus black goop that kind of like seeps into the wounds that they leave in their path. That is their turn, and they are now essentially on you. There's essentially now a crowd of 20 people at the hatch to the basement. Vesper, you're up. You look up the top of the stairs and you see Zahir surrounded by a couple dozen folks.
This is fine. Everything's fine. I am. Let's see here. Apply. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna make a sneak attack against whatever freak is the closest.
Absolutely.
Over Zahir's shoulder. Ideally, like if there's one that is, you know, whatever's closest to like being a threat to Zahir is the one that I want to aim at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So mechanically, they're all a mob, but narratively, yes, you can get the one who maybe just slashed Zahir.
Yeah,
got a nice cut on his upper arm.
Let's see here. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Use my good D20. That is not great. That is a 13 to hit.
A 13 will not hit. And in response, they are going to use a legendary action. And from the crowd, you see a glass bottle of some glowing purple-pink liquid just kind of fly out in y'all's direction. It crashes, and I'm going to need everyone to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, as someone has tossed a vial of fairy fire in your direction.
You said dex?
Yes, dex save.
Okay. 17.
17, that'll pass. You are not fairy fired. You muted?
Sorry, was it DC 12?
12, yeah.
Okay, 12. And I add my modifier, 14.
14, that'll do it. You are not fairy fired. It would be Eris up next, but Abhishek is up. So, Mozz, do you want to go real quick, and then we can insert Eris when Abhishek gets back?
They're gonna step forward at least 5 feet, just to get the radius away from those who are behind them. Sorry.
Good.
Yeah. Can I move that much? At least
you can, but again, you're surrounded by people essentially. So if you do move that much, you're going to be pushing through, which is fine. You don't have to check for it, but like that creates a space for the mob to get in behind you.
It's fine. I took Thunderstep as the warlock spell.
You going Thunderstep?
For my armor. It's like once every thing, right? That was the thing.
No, you just learned the spell. You can cast it with whatever spell slots are available to you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They are gonna give enough space for them to fill out behind them, and then cast using the armor, like cast Thunderstep. That is a con save. What is my modifier? I don't know how to do this in D&D Beyond. 16s.
16 con save. Let's see what they got. That will pass. That's a dirty 20.
I have to do damage real quick. Maybe. That's 15 damage on a half.
15 damage when it is halved? After being halved, it's 15? All right, hell yeah. Where do you go when you thunderstep?
They can go.
You can go up to 90 feet, right?
Thunder, you bring along objects. You can teleport one willing creature of your size or smaller who is carrying gear. I don't know. 90 feet, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, 90 feet. Okay.
Where would you like to go roughly in the space? Are you trying to draw the fight somewhere else?
Pretty much on the other side of the mob to kind of break them apart. And I don't know, actually, my brain's
And do you want to take anyone with you?
Oh, I would take Eris, but I don't know. I'll say no one for now.
All right, sure.
Would Vesper, would you want to come onto the other side? Yeah. Then Vesper, let's go.
All right. You grab Vesper's hand and just kind of, you reach into knowledge that isn't your own. You reach into knowledge that just tears through time, that seems to be just stored, baked into this armor that you've bought. This reaches back to a time before cities such as this, before mages like the ones you know today, but it is magic primordial that you channel, and you grab Vesper and you disappear and reappear quickly on the other side of the small back room that has the hatch to the basement. You reappear in a thunderous crash. You push several members of the mob like forward. They're kind of like flailing to maintain their balance. And so it's basically Eris, the mob, and then you and Vesper on the other side. And behind Eris are the civilians in the basement. That was your action. Do you have a bonus action you would like to use?
I did not think that. They're going to use their second wind to get some health.
Absolutely.
That's 6 plus 2 for an 8.
Yeah. And Abhishek is still not here, so I will just insert Eris when he returns. But for now, I'll say the mob has turned its attention to you two. And let's see, what can these people do? Yeah, I think they're just going to make their side attacks one more time. Let's say two are likely going at Zahir. One is going at Vesper. That'll hit. That won't. And one at Vesper. Vesper, what's your armor class?
15.
15. That will not hit. So only one attack makes contact, and that is on Zahir. Zahir, can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
That's a 13.
13, unfortunately, will not do it. So you will take the full 16 points of damage, as again, you are just kind of caught by one of these large sides. And let's see. They're actually collectively going to use a sorcery point to cast Scorching Ray on Vesper real quick.
That's okay. You don't have to do that.
That's
You can say
unfortunate. That's too damn bad. So let's see. This will be 3. One will hit. One will miss. And shit, I gotta be mad.
Me every day.
3 plus 8 plus. Does 15 hit you?
For AC?
Yeah.
Just barely.
All right, you get 2 scorching rays coming at you. That's going to be 1, 7, 12, 16 damage. So from the crowd, there is just this frenzied shouting as the sighs kind of clear away from the mass of red cloaks and fervor. You just 3 rays of fire just emerge from the crowd. 2 hit Vesper kind of squarely in the chest, and a third kind of goes wild.
Does Uncanny Dodge have the attack of magic attack, since you did have to roll to hit?
I believe Uncanny Dodge.
I don't know how that works.
So
I'm asking.
Can you read it for me real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
That actually might help.
It says, I'll just read it verbatim. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use a reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
Yes, you can have
dodge 1 reaction.
Yeah, you can have one of those attacks. Yes.
Okay, that works. Do you remember the exact numbers? Because I don't.
TBH, no. Let me reroll the damage real quick. So first attack.
I know there were 16 total.
Okay, 16 total. Then I believe what it would be is you can have one of them. I believe it would be 10.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
Because
one of the rolls was pretty high. One of the rolls was like a 5 and a 6.
It was
something
not nice.
along those lines. All right. That was the mob. Vesper, you're up.
Yeah, so Vesper just took that full on the chest. And I think maybe like even leaves like an imprint like on the leather armor that he's wearing. I think that having just narrowly missed the effects of that potion that was thrown before Zahir thunderstepped him away, I think he will just kind of mutter to himself, never done this before. And you'll see like colored lights emerge from his hands, and he's going to cast Fairy Fire.
Hell yeah!
On the mob.
All right.
I don't think he's ever cast a spell in his life.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're gonna do it right now. So I just roll as normal, yeah?
No, you don't roll. This is a dexterity saving throw.
Yes,
what's your charisma? I believe that's what this is based on.
Yeah, for drow magic. It's a 14.
14 dex save. That won't do it. That's an 11. So, Vesper, what is it like as you cast a spell for the first time, and this is an innate drow magic spell?
Yeah, I think that he just kind of like, maybe without meaning to, closes his eyes and like lifts his hands as it just kind of seeps from his fingertips to the targets. Inwardly, I think that there's just a lot of yelling about how this feels wrong. But once the spell is cast and he sees like those flickering colors outlining the members of the mob that are inside, I think he has a minute of maybe just a passing realization of like, oh, this is just another weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're able to do that, and you all see these ghostly kind of pink-purple, like almost flames just begin to rise up among the mass of red kind of cloaks, rather. Interesting. This is probably particularly effective against a group such as this. In tight corners where it's just kind of a mass of red, now there are clearly defined individuals ahead of you, and you'll have advantage on all of your attacks unless somebody runs out of concentration.
Well, the other thing I want to do is I want to use my cunning action to hide.
Where are you going to do that? Because right now
If
they're
there's, like, a
looking
bar.
at you. You would need to first run. You would need to first get you. You can hide. You'll need to move first, and
I see.
they'll be able to make an opportunity attack against you on the way out.
Nah, if that's the case, then I won't use it.
All right, sure thing. And we are back up to is it here?
You're muted.
They will do a lightning lure.
Lightning lure?
Straight
Sure.
at them up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Just creates a lash of energy at them, and then pretty much they have to do a saving throw to be pulled 10 feet towards them. Strength.
Okay, sure. So I'll say you could maybe pull the mob away from the basement. Does this do any damage?
If they get close to me, they do.
They'll certainly be close to you by the end of this. 12 won't be successful. So how much damage do they take as you sort of create this lasso of lightning and just pull the whole group towards you?
They 7 plus 5. 12?
12 damage? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Does that stay? Does it stay and you can... I don't know if that's the spell, but okay. But
I don't know the
anyway.
text of Lightning Lure off the top of my head. If you can reread it, and if it mentions anything about sticking around or preventing movement, let me know. And we can go from there. I'm good.
Zahir's not feeling good. And he's hurting, but he's he doesn't care. So he will do a where is that thing?
You should have a couple of potions of healing on you, I believe.
Yeah. Is that a bonus action to do that?
Yes, that is a bonus action to consume a potion.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so you can roll 2d4 plus 4, and then add all that back to your hit points. The mob is up next.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So I was going to have them attack Eris, but since you have yanked them all in your direction, so they are going to, can I do that on them? One willing creature. Ugh, boo. Let's make some scythe attacks. That'll be let's put 2 on Vesper, 1 on Zahir. Vesper, does a 16 hit?
You gotta stop with these, just barely, do it or don't do it. Yeah, it hits, I guess.
Okay, does a 24 hit?
Yes.
Can you roll me some con saves? These are DC 15, I believe.
I would love to roll some con saves. Of course I have a fucking plus. Ugh, dope stats. That is a 14.
14 just misses. So you will take 22 points of damage. Most of that is slashing damage. Some of it is poison, in case you've got any kind of resistances going on.
No, but I do have Uncanny Dodge, and I'm going to absolutely use that reaction.
All right, sure thing. Yep.
So 11.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Still bad. Still very bad.
I got that 22 before. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. And Mozz, I believe one hit you as well.
Oh my god, for 22 too?
Can you make a con save to see if you have the poison damage?
Please tell me a 16 works.
A 16 does work. You will take 12 points of damage here.
Thank God for that +2.
All right. And that was the mob. How are y'all looking at this point?
Without my uncanny dodge, it would have been a lot worse. I mean, I don't really want to tell you, but you know, if I have to, I'm.
How are you, like, narratively?
Bloodied. Very bloody.
Not as bloody as they were before, but definitely like that feeling of half of their energy is spent.
Very bloodied and very winded.
All right. They're going to use the remaining sorcery points and cast a Cone of Cold. Can I get some dexterity saving throws?
God, please.
This is going to be DC 15 dexterity.
Right. We're good at dexterity. We can
You're
do
good.
this.
You're fine.
That is a 14.
That won't do it.
That's a 14 + 2 for a 16.
16. All right, cool. So, Vesper, you take 38 points of cold damage. Zahir, or Kamar rather, you take.
No, he hasn't changed. You're good.
Oh, it's still Zahir? Perfect. You take 19 points of cold damage.
He's bloody now. Just
Vesper,
like
you still
crystal frozen and everything.
Oh, fuck no. Nope. Nope. Down.
All right, so Eris, what has happened is Zahir has thunderstepped himself and Vesper to the other side of the mob, essentially, and so you're fighting them off on both fronts. They have just finished their turn where they made some scythe attacks and did a sorcery point fueled bonus action Cone of Cold, which has knocked Vesper down and is hurting on Zahir something pretty fierce.
They do have fairy fire on them.
Oh yeah, can you roll me a concentration saving throw?
Oh,
I mean, I'm down, so like.
Oh yeah, true. That's it. So like, they don't anymore.
I just wanted to let you know that I did do something before I went down.
It was the I'm down part that got me.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Alrighty. So I guess okay. So I know you said you were essentially dividing on like two fronts and attacking them on two fronts. How many are essentially on quote unquote my side of the split? I guess
it's a whole. It's just a massive folks. It's not like there's 5 on you and 10 on them.
Okay,
it's just like
just
the
a
whole horde is now
horde.
fighting both of you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you would like, you can go ahead and take 2 turns back to back just to kind of like
catch up. Gotcha.
Catch up.
I will. Yeah, I would like to do so. Then in that case, let's see, I can't exactly. Which it's last on initiative, so that doesn't that takes out my assassinate advantages, unfortunately, which sucks. But I'll do my best with it.
Were you out for your first turn? I'll give you assassinate if you were like up and missed it on your first turn.
Well, yeah, because assassin only works because any creature it gives me advantage on any creature that hasn't taken its turn yet, and I'm last.
Oh, you're after. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
I'm last initiative order, so that wouldn't proc anyway.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine. I will make do with what I can. I guess I'll first off I start targeting the guy, the person closest to me. I guess.
Sure. Absolutely.
Just straight move to them. Go in with a straight rapier attack.
Absolutely. Mechanically, this is just a mob.
Yeah.
It's one creature, but yes, you can absolutely get the person who's like closest to the basement.
Gotcha. All right, let's roll. Work with me here.
Armor class 16.
That's an 18.
18 will do it.
Righty.
You've got enemies within 5 feet. So you can get your sneak attack as well, because there are
perfect.
people within 5 feet of the mob.
Alrighty, lovely. So we'll get that, and I believe because I leveled up, I now have 4d6 of sneak attack. Excuse me while I procure my dice. Alright, or yet dice, don't let me know. Clickety clacks. One, two, four. Alright, so let's roll that. Alright, rapier will be... Rapier damage is 8.
Alright.
And then I'm about to roll sneak attack right now. Great. And sneak attack is 9 total. So
Sneak attack is 9 total,
combined.
17 damage total. All right, 17 damage on the first action. Have any bonus action you would like to do?
Let's see. I think. So you said the horde is essentially considered technically one creature. If I hide,
Yes.
would they try to attack me again?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it depends on where and how you hide. But you would certainly need to move from where you are now. So you
Right,
take an
yeah.
opportunity attack on the way out, regardless. As far as whether or not they would attack you after that, depends on how well you're hidden.
All right, that's fine. I think she'll probably move out and then try to hide again, and then next turn, so that way she can re-engage for another sneak attack.
Absolutely. Scythe coming your way. Does a 24 hit?
Fuck yes, it does.
All right, can you roll me a con save of 15?
Con save of 15. I can do that indeed. Lovely. I'm gonna use an advantage.
All right, let's
I
see
rolled
that.
a 2.
Oh no!
Hey, that's a 15 flat.
15 flat. All right, so you will take 12 points of damage, 9 slashing, 3 poison.
All right, 12. 2. Okay. And then, so she'll take that damage as she kind of moves out of the way, and then she'll attempt to hide with her cunning action.
All right, absolutely. Go ahead and roll stealth check.
Poggers, that is a 26.
26. Yeah, that'll do it. They're not capable of perceiving that.
Love having a +10 in stealth.
Where did you go? Did you run behind a bar? Did you hide deeper in the basement? Where are you going?
I think after moving, taking that attack, sort of moving forward, she's not exactly in the mood to press back. She's strictly going to be moving forward. So I think out from the basement, she'll be essentially ducking behind the bar.
Sure,
probably
absolutely.
her best bet.
You are able to withstand a strike from the scythe on your way out, but you are able to continue running and do a cool little like leap over the bar, and you're able to make one more turn.
Alrighty. I think with her newfound hidden, like hidiness, stealthiness, so sort of wait for an opportune moment and then leap back out for a sort of surprise rapier attack on, again, whatever enemy is closest to her.
Absolutely.
Like in the horde.
Sure thing.
Alright, let's see what we got here. 22.
22, that'll hit.
Sick. Alrighty. Anyway, yeah, because I'm technically stealth, I do get advantage, right?
No, the fairy fire's out.
Fairy fire. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the fairy fire is out, and you're not hidden when you attack them because you've got the rapier.
Right.
You've got to come out.
Come out and strike. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So I
Okay.
wouldn't call it hidden in the way you could get away with the crossbow.
No, gotcha. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Escalators. Not great. It is 5.
5. That will not do it.
5. Well, 5. 20. It was 22 on the hit. 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 5 damage.
5 damage, and with the sneak attack.
I haven't rolled sneak attack yet, actually.
Okay,
so,
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, the 5 was purely the rapier damage.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see sneak attack.
Yeah.
And then after you go, it is Vesper, and then Zahir.
Ooh, that wasn't great either. 8. So 13 damage total.
13 damage total. All right. The mob is not looking great. They're It took some fucking hits. Several are dead. But there are still several left alive, and the casualties of their comrades does not seem to be deterring them. One quick second to pull out my fucking hit points. That's how much damage total? 17?
Yeah, 17 total, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, they're really not looking good then, damn. All right, Vesper, you're up. Can you hit us with a sweet, sweet death saving throw?
Sure. That's a 19.
19,
Yeah!
all right. Making progress.
Let's go!
So, what is it like as you desperately cling to consciousness and the battle rages around you? What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I like to think that he is just kind of surrounded by images of the burned down ballroom and just thinking about his sister.
Absolutely.
Thinking I have more work to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. At the end of your turn, they are going to use a legendary action to Scorching Ray on... let's put 2 of these on Zahir, 1 of them on Eris.
Fun.
That's a 1. That won't hit anything. Does a 12 hit you, Zahir? Perfect. And Eris, got 1 coming at you. That's another 1. All right. Damn. 3 misses. Another volley of Scorching Ray fire from the midst of this crowd. All 3 shots go wild, and we come back up to Zahir.
Sorry, shouldn't have looked at chat. They Zahir will do the same as they've done before, and think of the necklace that they left behind and do a branding smite on their weapon.
Absolutely.
For the bonus, and then attack with their moonsicle.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
A 12 plus 8. Or 20.
Will do it. How much damage you do?
Hold on. Moonsicle is not that well, but it's a 3 plus 5.
All right, 8.
But I don't know what a branding smite does. It also does a 2d6 damage.
What level warlock spells are you casting? Because it might do more.
Second.
So
it's just 2d6.
What level warlock are you? Because warlocks have like a static. Their spell levels increase. You're probably casting this as 3rd level.
No, just 2.
Okay, sorry.
No,
then
you're
yeah.
good.
Okay, in that case, it is, what is it? 2d6 damage, you said?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
That is a +2 for a 7.
All right. What does it look like as Zahir is able to finish off the remaining cultist here?
Just a like radiant moon that kind of goes straight through them, of energy. As they cut through it with their attack, it sends out like a pulsating, like radiant light.
Absolutely. Vesper, from your clouded vision, from your perspective on the ground, out of the corner of your eye, you just see this sort of radiant white light appear, and you see just glimpses, flashes of Zahir just stepping into the middle of this crowd, just swinging this moon sickle with a speed and ferocity that you've never really seen from this body. It is almost as if in this brief moment, Kamar and Zahir are one. As he just ducks and weaves and slashes and carves and makes short work of the remaining few cultists of the Red Presence. Everything goes quiet. What's the move?
First off, I think Eris is going to go over to Vesper and feed them one of their health potions.
Absolutely. Go ahead. It was 2d4 plus 4, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
I have D4s. I have PD4s. Where are you?
You hear Nettle call up from the basement. Are they gone?
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck.
Zahir is like bloodied, so they kind of like crumble to the ground. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. Are they all right? Looking to like Vesper.
That's the first good roll I've had all day. Apparently, I got a full 12.
Full 12. Nice.
So I think that he just literally just like sputters up a nice glob of blood. And kind of dazed. Maybe still grasping his bow. Just tries to get his bearings. Maybe,
Eris,
if not the first time, one of the first times he's had a near-death experience, so visibly
Eris
shaken.
will sort of try to calm him down, seeing him grasp him, like, hey, whoa, hey, we're good. We took care of him.
Fuck. Ugh.
It's not like me.
I think he'll just like instinctively look over at the mob, like kind of stare for a second, see if there's any like odd twitching.
Nothing of any significance.
And I think he'll just kind of sit up, but I think he's just gonna stay on the floor and just like sit there for a second. Thanks, both of you. Thank you.
Zahir's on the ground, so he kind of turns and just like has like this faint smile as like he's like just very bloodied, so he just, you're awake. Thank you.
Didn't think I was gonna wake up.
I hate this. Something foul rises in the pit of your stomach as you look before you and you see the carnage. little bell on the door here. It rings as you hear footsteps enter. A familiar red devilish face kind of leans over. Caroline assesses the damage. No. This turned out well. Hello, you three. She goes behind the bar, begins to pour herself a drink. There's so many like them these days, aren't there? Can you imagine how angry they'll be when they find out about this? They'll be on fire. I can't wait.
What
Really,
are you
though.
doing here?
Following a thread. I can't say I knew specifically what these individuals were up to, but I keep something of an eye on the cult, as it were. Really, I am sorry it had to be you three. To be honest, I didn't expect anyone to be here fighting back. You all look alive. No harm done.
This was you?
Not specifically or directly. I didn't tell them to come here. They thought of it themselves. Other things, other ideas they had, those were mine. Isn't it funny how you can just spin people up and watch them crash into each other? It is fortunate, though, that I found you. Good news to share. My father is dead. I will be sending to take his place soon enough. Once that happens, our deal is still on. Anything you want, all yours. I can't promise it'll be tomorrow. Working on our time scale. But good news for all of us, right?
I think Vesper is a little too dazed to process this, but he's kind of stuck on what she said about, like, oh, other things were my idea. He just can't quite put together. So I think he's just kind of listening without really responding. Visibly confused.
Zahir is just pushing, like wiping off the blood off his face and just staring at the audacity of this person to come in and pour herself a drink. And they don't have much to say. They're kind of like stunned that they just walked in.
Everyone being kind of silent and shell-shocked in a way, Caroline takes it upon herself to just kind of peruse the aftermath further. Is it just the three of you? I'm impressed. It'll make for a good story. They'll feel. She gestures at the corpses of the red presents. I imagine they'll feel quite impotent knowing that 24 of them came here and were defeated by just 3 random individuals. No offense, of course. You'd be surprised what amount of rage you can draw out of an impotent person. Useful if you can point it the right way.
Is this your roundabout way of saying you're going to be inciting more violence?
To be honest, not really. I have no need to. I also have no intention of stopping this. It's not my business. I don't particularly care. The dominoes are falling already. The days of wrath are here. Whatever happens with you and your divers and your magisterium, you're fighting well enough for show, but amongst yourselves that I don't need to worry about anyone looking too far down below. Got what I wanted. It's not my business anymore.
And yet it somehow benefits you.
Oh, it does. I just don't have to care anymore. My beloved, on the other hand, well, he is his own man. We should iron out our arrangement, though. If you don't have an answer for me now, I understand it's been a busy night for you, but really, we should get to talking about what you'll want when I ascend the throne. Deal is a deal, after all. You're muted, Abhishek?
Oh, you
still
don't have to
muted?
worry about
Okay.
that. Am I? Hello?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Yay. My mic has been lovely today. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I think I can give you a very good answer for what I want.
I'm all ears.
It's rather simple, really. What I want when you ascend is your death.
Cute. Let's see, you're not much for conversation tonight. I'll leave you to it. Keep thinking. I'll be back. Caroline grabs the bottle that she had begun pouring from that she left on the bar and walks out the door.
Zahir will spit out some blood, like at the exit, and just kind of look. So for a second, that he's like contemplating what she could give, like it's enticing, but that entrance, everything that they just did right there just left a bad taste in his mouth, and he just looks over to Vesper and Eris, and you just see him shake his head like, what the hell was that?
Honestly, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I can't see anything. but
Yeah,
not
like
a coincidence that she finally showed up just now.
more and more that I feel like a mouse in a trap that cannot get away.
Caught in a web that we don't understand. I think Vesper will attempt to get to his feet and kind of shamble towards the basement door. Let these poor people out.
You rise to your feet. It's painful, laborious. Your balance is unsteady, but you can do it. You head to the basement. Help the various civilians up and out. Out through the front door, they scatter and scurry into the night. You see an imp perched on the rooftop across from you, just watching. Fucking thing shouldn't be here. But that's normal for now. And that's where we'll end tonight's session. Good shit, y'all. All right, everybody. Thanks for spending another wonderful Thursday night with us. My name is Alex, and I've had the distinct pleasure of being the GM for tonight for this excellent group of folks and for this wonderful and generous Twitch channel. We're going to quickly sign off, say what else we're doing on the internet, and then we're going to hear the voice of God, Eva, and if there are any channel announcements to be made, she will descend from on high and let us know. I'm already talking, so hello everybody. My name is Alex. I had a great time being the GM for tonight, and I cannot be found anywhere else on the internet. This is my only project, my only public-facing thing I do, and yeah, that's it. I had a great night tonight.
I can go next. Hi everyone. My name is Abhishek Matange. I'm a voice actor, TTRPG AP performer. You can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky under the name @neon_Raiden for Twitter and @neonraiden for Blue Sky. I love Tokusatsu. I love performing in TTRPG APs. In fact, I'm going to be performing in one in January, but I cannot give any details quite just yet. So stay tuned for my socials for that. Also, if you like Persona 5, go and check out the Voidheart Symphony podcast that I'm in, called Terra Heart, over on the Goblins and Gays podcast. You can find that everywhere you find podcasts, so Spotify, Apple, the works and such. If you like Persona 5, you're gonna love it. Very fun time. Yeah, that's me.
Hi y'all, I'm Mozz. I forgot everything because this episode was really awesome. I am a voice actor as well, and I also run games over at Starcrawl RPG. I'm not running a game tomorrow, but one of our players on our current campaign who's never run something wants to run A Witch is Dead. So if you're in for a very cute cottagecore more time with cute little animals trying to find their lost witch, it'll be premiering tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. But otherwise, you can find me everywhere. It's Mozzarella or Mozzarella here with 3 L's. I am currently playing Vilgard with the community. My rook has a cute little story who wishes they could have dated Varric, but hey, it's fine. And we world build on the weekends. Yeah, I'm just still in Zenith right now, so I'm gonna pass it over.
Totally fair. Hi, my name is Seth. I have been Vesper. You also cannot find me elsewhere on the internet because I don't want you to. I don't know. I have a day job and I do this on Thursdays. So if you want to see me, you could maybe message me on Discord if you could find me there. Otherwise, hold the L. I don't know what to tell you. I almost died today. Okay. I was sitting there thinking about other character concepts as I was getting ready to roll my death save. So, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, where's God to deliver me from this? Hey, Eva, are you muted?
Oh no.
Thank you, chat, for pointing that out.
I'm not in the game, so I didn't add an audio input for myself. I was so good about unmuting everywhere else. Okay, you can hear me now. This is going to be far less charming the second time around. I'm so sorry. November is weird. December is weird here on Sword and Key. We are having some shows take a little bit of a hiatus. Some shows are being rescheduled. But this Saturday, we have a special one-on-one Horizons call. On Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we have Sword and Tea, which is a sit-down conversation with designer Paul Hoffer of Alchemical Press, talking about the upcoming Kickstarter for Mice of Legend, which is a little mouse adventure game that I'm very excited about. And we have Our Woodland Gods is being rescheduled, but we are back with Zenith next week, I believe, right? Yeah, so same imp time, same imp channel. I'm just saying words now because that threw me. We are going to raid out to Gnome Anne. That is not how that is spelled. And thank you all so much for joining us. It means a lot. And thank you for sharing your time with us. Pet your pets, drink your water, take your meds, and get some rest. You've earned it. And good night.